According to a new poll this week, 77% of American voters across the board, more than 70% of Democrats, more than 70% of Republicans, and more than 70% of independents, all say that we should have age limits for members of Congress in Washington, D.C. Actually, elected officials, because that includes the presidency. This is just staggering what these poll results say. 45% of respondents said the maximum age limit should be 70. So 45% said it should be capped at 70. Anybody over 70, you're out of office right now. 30% said that either 50 or 60 should be the maximum age. Yikes. I mean, look, that's a little young. Only 18% said 80 should be the maximum age. But 70, 75, I think we're onto something there. Especially given the episodes that we have seen from members of Congress this year alone. And Nancy Pelosi, 81 years old, announced this week that, hey, I'm going to run for office again. Jesus Christ, like, what is wrong with you people? Go enjoy your retirement. You've made millions of dollars. Get the hell out of DC and make way for the next generation of leaders. But here's what's important about this poll. Because it's easy to look at this and be like, okay, wow, 77% of the public is ageist, right? Because without proper context, that's what this makes it seem like. Like, hey, you're old, therefore you can't do things. That's not true. I mean, that's not true of people in general. Yes, there are certain afflictions that can come with old age that would prevent you from being able to serve properly or adequately. But that doesn't mean everybody has that. So why should everybody be punished because a couple people are starting to show their age when some clearly are not? I mean, look at Bernie Sanders. He's also in his 80s. They're like, you wouldn't know that. I mean, now he looks it, obviously, no offense, but that dude is as sharp as anybody in this country. But again, it's not the ageism thing. Because here is why. 80% of people polled said that they mostly agree that a legislator or an elected official over 75 would, quote, risk being out of touch with the times. There it is. It's not just the fact that they are old. It's the fact that a 75-year-old lawmaker, an 80-year-old lawmaker, they don't have the same set of priorities as a 35-year-old lawmaker would. A great example of that, and I'll use Nancy Pelosi for it, was a couple years ago with the Green New Deal when she's like, oh yeah, the green thing. Nancy Pelosi, as I said, she's 81 years old, or 83, somewhere in there, one of those. So she's over 80. Do you think Nancy Pelosi really cares about climate change? It's not going to affect her. I mean, technically it's affecting her right now, I get that, but the gradual worsening of climate change, it's not going to be her problem. Same thing with all these elderly Republican politicians who already don't want to do anything about climate change anyway. It doesn't affect them. They'll be dead and gone before the worst of the worst gets here with climate change. But you take a 40-year-old lawmaker, okay, they're going to have to live with that for the rest of their lives. The priorities are different, not to mention, and I think this is where term limits come in because the majority of people support term limits. We have these politicians that have been away from average people, some of them like Pelosi and McConnell, for 35 plus years. They don't remember what it's like to struggle. A lot of the people in Congress have never struggled. They have lost touch with the average American people. And the longer they're in DC, the more out of touch they become. So I am glad that this poll asked the question like, hey, it's not just because of the age. Do you think it's because they're out of touch with the ideals of the day? And the fact that 80% of people said yes shows that they understand the real issue with this aging octogenarian Congress. It's not because they're old. It's because they're so old that they've become out of touch with the average people. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.